Welcome back, everyone. You ready for some more John Company? Let's see this game out. I'm going to start with a tip. Actually, I'm going to start with a correction because I owe myself a cube. 4 cubes for an uninvested workshop, and I only took 3. I think I took 3 and then gave 1 back. Also, I made a blunder on this leader event. I did leader and treated it as if it was in Bengal. I don't know why. It should be top of the stack, Hyderabad. I know what I did. In my head, I went, right, we've got an event in Bengal, leader event. Of course, forgetting. I should be looking at the top of the stack. So yeah, that's kind of thrown the balance out a little bit of the game, but we're going to push on regardless because we're trying to learn the game. And this video hopefully is going to give you that solid understanding. All right, for those of you who've stuck behind, a little tip. Firm phase. We had to give up 3 cubes to create a private firm. As it goes, I had 3 cubes because I forgot to take a couple for placing crown writers. There you go. Giving up 3 cubes. So, firm phase. If you want to start a private firm, then you can be a little bit cheeky and spend those 3 cubes. Perhaps take an invested workshop from the crown, or maybe take an unfitted ship using 4 cubes. Now this is a great little tactic. Spend 4 cubes, take an unfitted ship from the crown. Then you can't pay this, right? But it does say if you have less, just give them all you've got. So spend the cubes you've got, take an unfitted ship from the crown, and then you've got an unfitted ship that you can place in your new firm. It's a neat little trick. So this is why this is placed where it is. It's basically asking you to do some negotiations, win some favour, and then kind of pull the rug underneath the crown a little bit. So when you're looking at these favours, when you're looking at the different timings of things, you will learn some tricks. So for those of you stuck around, that's a neat little trick that you can use in your solo games. I also want to add that I've had a slight change of mind, just a minor change of mind on legendary difficulty. So rather than insisting on company success, I've said that you can have the company fail, but if you do, then you must use this failure card, Court of Directors Blameless. But, and here's the kicker, it only benefits the crown. I'll let you think about how that might impact your game. So that's it, that's the change. I've updated the 100 solo achievements document to reflect that little change, but we'll use that change now for the rest of our playthrough. All right, what are we doing? Hiring. All right, first up is Director of Trade, chosen by the chairman. I can choose any office. Because of nepotism, it'll cost me 2 cubes. I've only got 1 to hire my own president, but no, we can choose any one of these 3. And I'm going to choose the President of Bombay is Director of Trade. And because we hired a Crown member, we get a cube. So though, in a way you might say, well, why did you get a cube? You had to do it, right? Well, you didn't have to. We could have just asked the Crown for consent to nepotism. See, it's not mandatory. I could have hired my own, but it would have just cost me a favour or 2 favours. Okay, so the fact that I forwent that meant that the Crown's happy. She says, okay, good, well done. You've hired my position. I'm happy with that. Thank you very much. Here's a favour. Here's a cube. Now, President of Bombay had a fatigue cube, so that goes over there. And then President of Bombay becomes a vacant office. Okay, and we're going to hire that one first. Hired by the Director of Trade. So Director of Trade is now hiring writers and governors associated with his presidency. Well, there's no governor, so they have to hire mine. Happy with that. That worked in my favour. And then we've got President of Bengal, again hired by Director of Trade. So she's hiring. I must give consent for nepotism if I can. So she's going to become President of Bengal, but that's going to give me 2 cubes. So this is mandatory. A favour in dark blue is a mandatory favour, okay? Or a favour in dark red is a mandatory favour. Okay, so they become President of Bengal. So things have switched a little bit. We're now Bombay and Madras. They are Bengal. Now we've got 4 cubes. There is an opportunity to, having won that favour. So basically what we're saying is we can give 4 cubes and take a share from the crown. So basically what we've said is, look, I'm going to give consent for nepotism. I'm going to do that hiring for you, but you're going to have to give me a share. So crown has agreed because it says so here. She's lion. Take a share from the crown is 4 cubes. All right. Now we've evened things up a little bit in the court of directors. That shares I can invest in my firm, remember. Okay. All right, chairman phase. We are chairman. I must give them a cube if I have one. I don't. And this is, again, remember, a first time thing. So I spent the cubes while I had the opportunity before we moved through the phases. And the question is, do I want debt? I think I want at least one debt. I don't know which region she's going to go for yet in terms of director of trade. So let's give some money. We'll give £4 to director of trade, which is going to win me a cube. Manager of shipping, I think, is okay. 1, 2, 3. They could possibly do with £2. So I think I'm going to give £2 to shipping. That's all of the money. And then we'll need to take at least one debt. I've got 1 in ship in Madras. So let's put £2 in Madras. That's my presidency. The other 3 in Bombay. Do I want them to sail in Bengal? I think I've got to take another debt. So we'll take another debt. And then we'll put the £5. We'll put 4 in Bengal. And I think we'll put another £1 in Bombay. So we've got 4 in each. That's going to give us a cube. Because we put £4 in a Crown office. All right. That should keep the company ticking over nicely. Debt has gone quite high. Okay, let's see what she's going to do with her climates. Crown commanders. There's 1 crown commander. So she's going bearish. Yeah, I was worried this would happen. Well, at least she's not peacock. Okay, vector of trade. This is their priority. Delhi first, and then Bengal. So they're actually looking to open orders in Delhi. And they're going to try and open the northernmost, which is this one. And then secondly, that one. This one is slightly further north than that one. So they're trying to open these 2. But maybe that's okay, because we could let the military work on Bengal. Because they've got 4 regiments there, and they're going to put a new commander in. So we'll let them, yeah, so if they open this, 1, 2, 3, yeah, this is of no consequence. So first one, they're going to spend 3, roll 3 dice. They're trying to open that northernmost order in Delhi. And it is a success. Good job. Right, that one's open. Next one, they're going to spend another £3. Delhi again, they're going for the northernmost. And yeah, they got their success. All right, good stuff. Transfers. They are bare. So a ship from a player presidency to a crown presidency. So they want to move a ship out of here and stick it over there in Bengal. Definitely don't want that. And then they want a crown writer from a presidency with the fewest ships to the presidency with the most. So this time they want to move this crown writer from here to here. So yeah, we'll spend the cube to prevent the first transfer. We'll let the second one happen. Okay, manager of shipping. She wants to buy 1 company's ship. So that would be 5 out of a 6. Rather than fit 2 of her own ships. Okay, that's fine. I could prevent it. I I could spend my last cube and say, no, don't worry about company ships, fit 2 of your own. So do we want 1 ship or 2 ships? I think 1 ship is fine. Let's let her do that. And she's going to place it, she's bare, in the presidency C zone with the highest number of crown writers. So she wants to place it in Bengal, where she's just put her writer. So she's putting another company ship in here. So opening those orders was probably not a bad thing. We want the military to do the job in Bengal. That's what she's relying on, which is fine. She's bearish. She knows she wants to go military. She knows she wants to hit Bengal. So she's making way. She's basically making that play with me. And as a player, I can see what she's trying to do. I can decide later whether I want to play ball or not. But I might not get a choice because we're in military. She wants to transfer from where a player is commander to where she is commander. So she's just wanting to do 1 transfer, which is from Bombay to Madras. We could spend a cube and ask her to push it here instead. But I don't think we need to, unless we want to put something in defence. I don't think we do. I think we'll stick with that. All right. Assign an officer. So she's got this one to assign. She wants to create a new crown majority. That wouldn't, that wouldn't, that would. So it's going in Army of Bengal. This officer becomes commander. Now we move to President of Bombay. That's us. But first step, any private firms that are sailing in Bombay in the west, that's us. Reveal their strategy. Reveal their money, £4. Roll our dice. So we get to roll 4 dice. We're doing this now to calculate our initiative, okay, assuming we're successful. We've got, oh, that's a great roll, 3 successes. Our initiative is the number of ships sailing, in our case 1, minus the number of successful dice, so 3. So 1 minus 3 is minus 2. Our initiative is minus 2. We'll do the same for the president when the time comes. Whoever has the lowest initiative gets to trade first. So you can see we're directly competing against the company. Now, I'm commander up here with no armies. I mean, I could spend the presidential money, but I don't want to. Let's spend all 4. We'll roll 4 dice with 1 ship. We're just going into 1 region, so that is 4 dice. And yeah, we got the success. So it's 1 success. 1 success, 1 ship sailing. That's an initiative of 0. Ours is lower than theirs. We get to sail first with our firm. Now remember, when trading, you may fill orders equal to ships plus 1. So 1 ship plus 1, we get to fill 2 orders. We have to start at the home port of Bombay, but we're not limited in the same way. We can cross borders without losing dice. We can even trade into other presidential home regions if we wanted to. But we've got 2 ships. We fill 2 orders. We're using generic field tokens, so it's £4 for us. And then we can choose which way we want to go. So we can go that way, or this way. Doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. So we'll go up here. So that's 4 plus 3. That's £7 for our firm. So £7 here in the India Treasury, which means we'll be paying out at most £7 in dividends. And that means our special retirement can't be more than 7. We don't have to pay all of this out. We may pay less. We may only pay 4 or 2, but the most we can pay is 7. All right, we'll see that later when we get to the revenue phase. How much money are we going to pay out in dividends? Now 7 means we're not going to get up to the 8 spot. Right? You can't use the London Treasury for dividends. It's only India Treasury. Right? So we'll see that, like I say, in revenue phase. But the most I'm going to be able to pay out is 7, which means I won't be able to get that £8 retirement spot, possibly the 4. However, it is enough to push the value of our firm up. For each £6 added, we increase the value of our firm. So £7 is enough to push it up 1 spot. All right, now president can trade. And the president has also got 1 ship. They've got 1 writer. And they can only fill this order. Now you can fill orders that have been previously filled. Whether you're trading first or second, you still get to fill these orders. The difference is if you're filling a filled order, you get that £2 instead of the £4. So the company is only getting £2. 1, 2, and then I'm getting £2. One for being president, filling an order, and one for my writer. That's my personal money. Okay, I'm going to have to keep this separate now off my firm board. Next up then, Madras. A Crown Commander is not going to do anything unless they have a strength of 2 or more. Not unless we force them to. But we don't want them to, so Commander's doing nothing. There's no writers down here, but we do have one ship and we have one open order, so we can trade for 4. Let's roll these dice. And we got the 1 success. Lovely. So we got 1 generic writer going in there and filling that £5 order. Company money balance goes up to 7. We get £1 for filling 1 order. Next up, Bengal. All right, this is a Crown President. Now, a Crown Commander with an army strength of 2+ will attempt to purchase the most expensive affordable local alliance. There's £4 in the treasury and they want to spend all 4 of it, which means they won't be able to trade. This terrible Crown is trying to bring the company down because she's bearish. She sees she's got a marginal lead, or thinks she's got a marginal lead. It's going to cost me 2 cubes to stop that. If I want to, I could force her to go for this one instead at £2. That's going to cost me just 1 cube. I could get the extra cube by giving her my invested workshop, which is going to lose me 2 votes. If I go this way and make her buy this one instead, then she's got £2 for trade. The downside is she wants 5 dice to trade. So whatever we do, we're a little bit messed up. Now I'm not totally out of options because I do have some money, and money is leverage. £3 I've got, and if I give her £3, she gives me 2 cubes. I have to do this because I can't let the company fail at this stage. I'm so far behind in victory points. I have to let my company, my firm work. I have to let John Company succeed so that we can push through some turns so I can do more trading. This is why this scenario is so great. Okay. So, oops, I gave her the wrong money. That's my India money. That's my money. Okay, £3. Now I can use an extra cube. So instead of using 1 cube, I can use 2 cubes to deny that local alliance altogether, which means she gets her £2 back. And now, okay, we've got an extra cube, right? So we can use that to persuade her to trade for 5. Okay, sit tight. Next commander is going to deploy. So Bear, presidency home region, if not company controlled, it's not. Looking for 3 dice. There's a tower strength of 1 there. We've got an army of 4, so that will give us 3 dice. That's the 3 dice she wants to deploy in Bengal. We got a success. Cool. All right, so we check for loot. Loot is a tower strength of 1. This is face down. There's no loot for that. So that's 4 coins. Between the commander and 4 regiments, that's 1 coin for the crown. That one goes back. These open. Commander also gets a trophy, so that's for the crown. That's coming down to Bengal. Governor overlay. Trophies are 1. Let's get rid of those. Governor of Bengal is now back up for recruitment. Wow, okay, so the company's on a tightrope, but there's a chance. Crown President now, will they trade? They want 5 dice. They've only got 4 coins. So a couple of things. We're going to have to spend a cube to get that requirement down from 5 to 4. So now they can spend 4 for 4 dice, which means they can't cross any regions. They can only take 2 ships sailing. All right. I mean, I could throw in my workshop and have them go further, but we don't need to. 11's good enough. So they spend the 4. We're trading just 2 orders. 4 dice. And whew, we got the success. So 2 writers. She wants to place her own first, so that's £6 and £5. Then she'll take 2 plus 1, she'll take £3. I'll take 1. So 1 for me, 3 for her. The company's taken 11, take them up to 18. We've managed to push through this turn, I think. China, nothing bonuses. We've got none. Crown has 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 4. The Crown has 8. Crown's just getting richer. Revenue. And we begin with our firms. So start of revenue phase, before company expenses, we look at our firm expenses and dividends. Now in edit, I forgot to do this. And I did it at the end of the term. So when we finished here, it'll look like I haven't done this, but this is the point we've done it. I will fade it back in at the end of the turn, and we'll see my firm board updated with expenses and dividends paid. But we're doing it now in edit as this is the right moment to do it. Okay, so before company expenses, we've hit revenue phase, firm expenses. Now remember, firm expenses are equal to number of ships plus value of firm or number of shares, whichever is higher. So for us, it's either 2 or 2 plus 1. So expenses are 3. And the money can come from either your London Treasury or your India Treasury. It's up to you. But tip number 1, take it from the London Treasury, because you can, when it comes to paying dividends, you can only pay dividends out of the India Treasury. And any money left unspent is going to move right over here anyway. So that's what you need to do, or should do. Pay your expenses out of your London Treasury first, okay? But you don't have to. You can split it however you wish. So we've got expenses of 3. We're going to pay the £3. All right, job done. Now, what about those dividends? So we've got £7. We know we can pay up to £7 of dividends. This should be back at 0 still. We can't get up to 8. And we want to leave a little bit behind to cover our expenses next time, or potentially to fit a new ship. Keep this handy. Remember, we sailed in the west, because next is events in India. And if that storm die rolls west, it could sink our ships. These ships are out here sailing effectively along with the rest of the fleet. So storms in the west could potentially sink. So you roll a die for your ships if there's storms in the west, just like all the company ships. So keep a note of that. Also remember your initiative when you're playing multiplayer, because this happens in lowest initiative order first if there's multiple firms. Okay, dividends then. So we're going to pay out dividends from the India Treasury. For every dividend we pay out, every shareholder plus the manager, and that's what this plus 1 is about, gets £1. So if I paid out 1 dividend, I'd pay out 1, 2, 3, £3, and it would go to me. So let's do that. Let's pay out 1 dividend. 1, 2, 3. Okay, £3 in dividends paid. This marker moves to the 3 spot. That's how much we've paid in dividends. That's how much then we can spend on our special retirement during the next London season. Now, we don't want that. We want to get to the £4 mark. We want to get this up 1 more. So we could pay out another dividend. 1, 2, 3, £3, but that would only leave £1 in our India Treasury for expenses next time. So that's not quite where we want it to be, right? But here's the thing. Any number of shareholders can choose to forego their dividend payout. They can just opt. They can say, no, thanks anyway. I won't take the money. So let's say I choose to pay another dividend, but these two shareholders say, no, keep the money in the firm. It could be the manager, right? So it doesn't matter who, but it has to have the manager's consent. So with the manager's consent, shareholders can forego their dividends. So let's pay out another dividend, but we'll forego two of them. So instead of paying out 3, we're only paying out 1. Okay? So we'll pay out 1 dividend. We'll give it to the manager. These two shareholders say, thanks, but no thanks. Now we've paid out £4 in dividends. We can move our little marker up here to the £4 spot. Our special retirement has gone up to £4. And that's the thing to think about when you're paying out dividends. Where do you want that special retirement to go? How much money do you want? Okay. All right. And I've got myself a nice £4 that I can use for the rest of this turn and potentially for that special retirement. Cool. All right. Now, once you've finished paying out dividends, anything left over in the India Treasury gets moved to the London Treasury. I've got £3 left, and that will cover my expenses nicely next time, unless the value of my firm goes up, of course. But that's all good news, because that means more money here. And I've got £3 in case my ship sinks. If my ship sinks, I'm going to have to use that £3 to fit or buy back another. All right, there we go then. So like I say, in edit, it looks like I haven't done this yet, but start a firm phase. Then we go to do company expenses. 4, 5, 6, 7 plus 4 is 11, plus 4, 15. They've got 18. Company balance is down to 3. Expectations have not been met. Company standing goes down 1. We can no longer invest shares. Shares are weak, and this will continue potentially. The Crown is going to feel a little more anti-company. She's already bare, so this isn't helping. Not enough money to pay dividends, so dividends can't be paid. We need a minimum of 6 shares here, so we need a minimum of £6. And now, events in India. I'm kind of happy. We're pushing through this turn. We've managed to increase the value of our company a little. We've got a little bit of money. Let's see what happens with the old storm die. 3 in the south. Storms in the south. So we've got 1 ship, the King George. It's a 6. The King George is gone. So she's lost another ship. And then we've got 3 events. First one is a leader event in Madras. Strengthen Madras if sovereign. Madras is sovereign. Phew, okay. That's what we need, just nice little easy events like this. The elephant's looking at Maratha as well, so we should be good. Right, let's see what the next one is. I mean, obviously, we've been a little bit reckless. Right, Madras next. Peace. Wonderful. So, elephants on a border, we increase the tower strength in Hyderabad and Maratha. So it's not great in terms of, India's rebelled, it's getting stronger. It makes it more difficult for us to take control of India, but the rewards are higher. Okay, peace. So adds a tower strength and then opens connected orders along that border. So these 2 would open. So that one goes. Brilliant. And then we move the elephants to the region on top of the stack, triangle. Okay, so, it's Maratha. So the elephant's coming into Maratha and heading towards the triangle. Triangle is right here. So it's heading over this border, looking at Bengal, which is the region we control. Right, this is danger. Right, last one, event number 3. Maratha, let's have a look, is either a crisis, turmoil, or foreign invasion. We're hoping for turmoil. So again, a 1 in 3 chance. Have we seen the crisis +3 already? No. a 1 in 3 chance that this will work out okay. Now, this is it. I mean, we've played reckless, right? So if you want another tip, you've already learnt it. Don't take control of regions unless you can leave an army behind in defence, because it's just going to work out bad. You're going to lose the region again, and your reputation is going to take a hit, and all the other penalties that come with region loss. Right, turmoil, please. It's crisis +3. Okay, there's no army in Bengal. So the governor's removed, local authority is restored, regions are closed to orders. The governor of Bengal is once more, we will recruit that at some point. That's like the second, third time I think we've tried to recruit the governor of Bengal. Wow. These go back. Commander is unfortunately eliminated. There's no officers here to rout. Crown with 2 trophies is going to lose one of them, half rounded up. Bengal is back here. Its loot token face down. The elephant moves back to the region's capital. We've invaded from Maratha. So what happens, let me just clarify. We grab a flag. Because this is an invasion, this now creates an empire with the capital in the invading region. This then becomes dominated by the invader, Maratha invading Bengal. You then move the elephant back to the capital, and we move it to, well, this shows a circle. So we move it to the circle side, which is this side. There's the circle. So now this is called Imperial Ambitions. Maratha has invaded Bengal and is now looking at invading Bombay and growing their empire. Right, lastly, we lower company standing by 1. It's the only region we've lost this turn. So company standing goes down by 1 from the £8 slot to the £6 slot. So company expectations are falling. I was hoping for a windfall of some kind. The crisis was not what I wanted to see, but there you go. All right, that's it. That was the last one. Company is still standing. We're doing okay. Company standing has fallen. It will be interesting to see how the Crown responds. Parliament meets. So we're Prime Minister this time. So this doesn't matter, okay? We can choose which law we wish to enact. And ideally, I'm looking for a law that I can pass. Remember, I don't have any votes. So I want something that the PM, so the Crown's going to vote for so that I retain PMship. Zamindar taxes. All right, governors add 1 to their dice pool. We don't have any governors. We've lost all our regions. I don't think they're going to vote for this. We do get to give a tax or bonus to shares though, but no, I think the Crown's going to vote heavily against that. So we'll leave that. Let's draw again. Oh, right. Choice is taken away. Masses demand franchise. If passed, rotten boroughs are now worth only 1 vote each. Votes cost 2 instead of 1. If failed, nothing happens. All right, it starts with a +1. Okay, that's the dilemma. That's the dilemma. That's not too bad. It's not too bad. There is a rotten borough up here. So this one's coming up. So that's suddenly gotten devalued if this passes. I don't know. I think she's going to vote for it because she doesn't have any rotten boroughs. So she might vote for. We might be okay here. We might be okay. But let's set her climate. She has a little climate shift. Now, I know a few people struggle with this one, so I'm just going to give you a nice little easy way to do it. So you roll your 6 dice. You count your successes. We've got 3 successes and 3 failures, okay? So we'll call it 3 successes. We'll put it above the company standing line. We'll take the 3 failures, and we'll mark a 3, and we'll put it below the company standing line. All right, so 3 and 3, nice and easy. If the number of successes is greater than company standing, you move their climate 2 spaces to the right. If the number of successes is equal to the company standing, you move one space to the right. Okay, so that's all you need to remember. You're moving to the right. Okay, one space if it's equal, two spaces if it's greater. For failures, it's the opposite. If it's equal to, you climb up one space to the left. If it's less than, you move it two spaces to the left. Okay, so either left or right. Okay, so if you can visualize that, then you're there. All right, so we're 3-3. So 2 to the right, none to the left. So our crown is not happy. 2 to the right is 1, and then it can't go any further. All right. So she's gone peacock. She's going, right, this company's failing. This company's gone. I'm bailing. So that's her mood. She's gone peacock. We couldn't keep her company positive. And it started with her having an eye on the military and going, do you know what? I could bail here. I could go aggressive, go military, and tank this company. All right, masses demand franchise. Masses demand franchise. If the crown has the most rotten boroughs, she has 0. Most is, it's a reminder, if the crown the most includes ties as long as she has at least 1. So 0 is not. Okay. So she's going to otherwise. The crown does not have the most rotten boroughs. She's going to vote 4. That's good. So she's throwing everything 4. We're going to throw 4 as well. The law passes. Oh, we should have picked a policy first. So we can either tax luxuries and windows or give power to luxuries and windows. Well, of course, we're going to tax. Of course, we're going to tax. Right. So she's got to pay her tax because this has passed. We do get a passed law trophy. Sounds good. This is one of those examples where if the Crown voted against, it would have actually helped her. But that's the nuance of Crown and the PM, especially during Parliament. During Parliament phase, the Parliament depended on the Crown and the Crown depended on Parliament. They could influence each other. But they're kind of pulling and pushing in different directions in a way. I mean, the Crown can never hold PM office. Constitutionally, they're independent. But yeah, there you go. So so thematically, it's where the Crown loses her edge is during Parliament meets. And you've got to take advantage of that. You've got to influence Parliament to kind of be against the Crown and do over the Crown, which is the only point in the game really where the game's cutting you a little bit of slack. At times, sometimes, unless you get a foreign invasion or something. Okay, so this is passed. Rotten boroughs are now only worth 1 vote each. Well, she's not taking the rotten boroughs, she's taking this one, I can see. So that probably leaves me with Labour newspaper. I mean, I can still take it. It's only worth 1 vote. But votes do now cost £2 instead of £1. That's not going to work in my favour. All right, taxes. So she's going to get a tax on luxuries and windows. She's got 2 luxuries. They each carry a window, so that's 4. And she's got 4 windows here. 1, 2, 3, 4 with her 1 prize. So that's £8 in taxes. Do look out for enterprise icons potentially on prestige cards because they are enterprises too. She only has shipbuilders. So that's £8. Finally, something's worked a little in my favour. 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. Upkeep and refresh. And let's just reset my board to reflect confirm expenses. All right, we're caught up. So now let's return our writers and exhaust our regiments. And we'll move to turn 5. Ready? Let's see if we can dig out of this massive hole.